Thank you. Thanks, Alex. And good evening, everyone. There's been a few questions already popped up on the chat. One of Justin, I'm sure we will be in time to finish before the Champions League starts. That's an interesting question. And Adam, there was a question about is it being recorded? Yes, it is, and we'll give you all the details of that later on. So there are obviously opportunities for you to ask questions as we go through. So please do type them in. We'll come to them as an opportune moment. But first of all, my name is Martin Woodward. I am the club business manager for the RFU, and I work alongside Alex in the clubs and communities team. It's great to be hosting so many of you tonight. I can see we've got a significant number, and that's going up all the time, which is great. Over 230 of you, which is fantastic. And I hope, like you, like myself, you guys are all looking forward to getting back to a busy Twickenham. The aim of tonight is to explain the why and the how behind the transition to digital ticketing. If we don't cover everything, there is an opportunity for those questions still to come through, and we'll try and pick everything up, but we will try as best as we can to answer all of those questions. To help us do that, we've got some expert panelists. We have Steve Kitcher, who's head of ticketing at the RFU. Hopefully you can sort of see Steve with his headset on there. And also we've got Lisa Pryor, who's the ticketing and membership services manager. And so Steve and Lisa will be our sort of go-to people for Q&As, but also we will have behind the scenes a couple of people from Ticketmaster, which are Jenny and Andy, and they'll help us if we have any technical questions, anything that Steve or Lisa can't work, or I'm not sure how that works, and so on. It's been recorded, as we've said, and it will be posted on the Club Support YouTube website. You'll be able to get that link for that, and we'll share that with you. And also, the questions that are raised tonight, they will join a part of a larger frequently asked questions document, which sits on the ticketing website. So that will be your go-to place for anybody. And if you are sitting in for someone tonight who can't make it, the normal ticketing person, then that's the place where you signpost them to. So as Alex mentioned, hopefully about 45 minutes, and we'll see how we go, see how time flies with that. But from myself, I'm going to hand over to Alex now, just to introduce you to our first video from our CEO, Bill Sweeney. So Alex, over to you.
So yeah, I'm just going to put this video on for you.
Hello, everybody. This is just a very brief intro to talk to you about the ticketing webinar that you're about to watch. We've previously outlined plans to move from physical tickets for games at Twickenham to digital tickets that are sent direct to a mobile phone. This has been something that we, like many other sports and most sports, have been working towards for a number of years now. And the pandemic and the need to reduce touch points and accommodate track and trace has also accelerated the pace of change. There's a recognition also that this will allow us to be in more regular contact with our fans and users of Twickenham Stadium as they experience a match day. Mobile tickets have been used successfully for a number of seasons, and we now have systems in place to make the process as efficient as possible for clubs to access and distribute their tickets. Therefore, we will be moving to a digital ticket program for all games from the 21-22 Six Nations competition. During this webinar, you'll have the opportunity to see a video tutorial of how the system works, what changes have been made, and how this will work for your club tickets. I hope you find it very informative, and we're excited about this new development, which will help modernize our game. Thank you.
Okay, thanks from Bill. And the first thing we're going to do now is we're actually going to have a poll. So Alex is going to take through a poll. Please, everybody vote. So it's very simple, very easy to get involved with. So you can see that on your screen now. So basically, if you can just tell us what your role is at the club. As you can see, there are five different options there. And please just click away and tell us what your role is.
So yeah, they're flying through now, just the last few to come in. Just give you a few more seconds to see what we've got in here. So I'm going to end that poll now and share the results with you. But it's interesting that obviously we've got a lot of international ticket coordinators, but then the next is secretaries, followed by treasurers, other, and chairs as well this evening. So a very interesting group of people that we've got join us tonight, Martin.
Indeed, indeed. And as you say, Alex, sort of a broad range, and it's good to see not all ticketing coordinators as well. But as we've mentioned, if you are taking notes on behalf of somebody else, then they will be able to sort of access all of the information that is discussed this evening. So what we're going to do now is we're going to show you the first of two videos, which give you a real in-depth view in how the ticketing process works and so on. So get your popcorn ready. Actually, it's not that long, but if you have any questions which pop up, just make a note of them or pop them into the chat as some of you done. But Alex, if you can play that video.
Welcome to this video guide on using the group management functionality. This is the RFU official ticketing website. Please log in by clicking on the user login and account icon near the top right corner and enter your email address and password to log in. You can check that you are logged into the correct account by clicking on this icon again and checking for your club's ticket entitlement listed just under the Hello message. From here, you can select View Your Account, where you can manage tickets, including listing tickets for sale on the ticket exchange, manage or purchase your reserve seats, and manage memberships held. Today, we're going to show you how to use the group management functionality. In order to reserve tickets from your club allocation for your members, you'll need to add them to your club group first. If you click on Group Management, then click Manage Members, you'll be able to add and remove members to your club group. On this screen, you will see a list of all members that have previously been added to your club group. You can remove a member by clicking on the bin icon, and you can add new members by selecting the Add Member option. You are able to add your members one at a time using the Add Individually tab by entering their first name, surname, and email address, followed by clicking Add Member. Alternatively, and to save time, you can import multiple members at the same time using the Excel template spreadsheet provided. To do this, click on the Import Multiple tab and then click on import_members.csv to download the template. Depending on the device you are using, you may find the downloaded file appears at the bottom of your browser screen, or you may need to navigate to your device's Downloads folder. Once you open the template, you can complete it by typing the forename, surname, and email of each member you wish to add. Remember, it's one member on each separate row. Once you have added to the spreadsheet all members you will be allocating tickets, save the file on your computer. Back on the website, once your import file is ready, click on Choose File. Select your saved file and click Open, followed by the Import button, which will complete the upload process and add your list of members to your club group and enable you to allocate them tickets in the future. Now that you have your members uploaded, you can begin the ticket purchasing process. We recommend that you complete the above process before purchasing any tickets, as it will make the ticket purchase and reservation process much quicker and more streamlined. To buy tickets, click on Event Tickets, and then find the event in the list that you wish to buy tickets for. In this case, England Rugby Group's Management. You can select the number of tickets that you require using the plus and minus. By making use of the Only Show Me Seats Together option, you will only be shown the blocks where there are that number of tickets available together as a group. If you toggle this option off, it will give you more choice of available blocks, but you won't necessarily find the number of seats that you want sat together. For this example, we will leave it on. You can select the price of the tickets and the block you would like to purchase in from this list. The map zooms into the selected block and shows you the seats that have been pre-selected for you. If you wish to select different seats, then you click Choose Your Own Seats from the map, and then you can select a block from the stadium map and start adding seats to your basket, one at a time. If there are junior prices available on the match, you can choose to buy some of the selected tickets at the junior rate using the plus and minus buttons, or you can leave them all as adults. For this example, we will leave them all as adults. Once you are happy with your selection, click Reserve Seats. When you select Reserve Seats, you will see your selected seats turn green on the stadium map, indicating they have been added to your basket. If you have selected all the seats you need at this stage, you can now navigate to your basket. The basket icon is located near the top right corner. Once viewing your basket, you can check your seat selection. Ensuring that you have picked the right number of seats at the desired price, you can reserve the seats. You'll next be presented with two options: to assign to members or add to basket. At this stage, you can either choose to add some or all of the tickets to your own basket using the Add to Basket option and complete the purchase on behalf of your club, or, as we will now explore, you can choose the option to assign to members. This is where your previous efforts of adding your members to your club group in advance of purchasing tickets will help make this process easier. To assign a ticket to one of your members, just begin searching for their name or email address, and those that match will appear for you to select. Be sure to check that you are allocating your member the correct seats at this stage, in the same block and row of the stadium. When you are happy, click Assign Members. Those tickets have now been assigned to your member, and your member will receive an email telling them that the tickets have been reserved and that they can now purchase them. Remember, if you need to update your club group and manage the members, navigate back to Group Management via the User Login and Account icon and View Account menu. The Allocation Summary page shows you how you have allocated your club's tickets. It can also be found at any time after logging in by selecting the User Login and Account icon near the top right corner. Then select the View Account menu button, followed by Allocation Summary under the Group's Management menu. Click View next to the event you would like to review. You will be presented with a drop-down menu allowing you to view the allocations you have made based on the price categories available. After selecting a price category, you will be presented with a seat-by-seat listing detailing which member you have allocated each seat to within that price category, along with the booking status, telling you whether your member has purchased a reservation or, if not, when the reservation will expire.
Okay, so there's quite a lot of information in there, and we've already had a significant number of questions come through on the Q&A. I think we're up to 24. What we did, we gave you an opportunity to ask questions beforehand. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce Steve and Lisa, who are our sort of panelists tonight, to hopefully answer some of those questions that we've had prior to this evening, which may well answer a number of questions which we're already getting. So if I start first of all with Steve, so Steve, first question I've got is, can we still receive paper tickets if this new system doesn't work for our club, given the way we do our ticket allocations?
Thanks, Martin. Look, we fully appreciate that clubs work in different ways, but we won't move away from mobile ticketing just to suit one particular club. So the answer to that one is no.
Okay, thank you. Lisa, if I can come to you next, please. So question is, can clubs still purchase the tickets themselves?
Martin, yes, they can. As per the video just now, if club ticket secretaries log on to their accounts, they can assign tickets to themselves by using the Assign to Basket, checking out in the usual way. The tickets would then be sent to the app of the International Ticket Secretary to onward forward to his members.
Lovely, thank you. The next question is one which I've actually seen on the Q&A already pop up tonight, but how do we share tickets with club members who may not have smartphones or digital facilities? Steve, that's over to you.
Thank you. We're fully aware that there's going to be a small number of clubs members that don't have access to either the internet or smartphones, but we are expecting that to be a minority. But, you know, of course, we want to make sure that we're not leaving anyone behind in this process. So we will make sure that a paper ticket is available upon request from the club. If we're provided the recipient's full name and address, enabling us to forward that ticket on, we will do so. As mentioned, you know, we really want to make sure we're not leaving anyone behind in this process.
Okay, thank you. Lisa, next question is, with tickets for sponsors, how do we allocate them to individuals? And do tickets for juniors, so two questions, do tickets for juniors go to the junior or the parent or adult who's with them?
Okay, so the first part with the sponsors, that's entirely dependent on how the club want to allocate them. They can assign the tickets to the member, and the member can be the sponsor and go directly out to the sponsor. Or the club can buy the tickets themselves by putting them in the basket and checking out. The tickets would then go onto the app to the ticket secretary, who could forward it on to the sponsor. Regard to the junior tickets, if you buy junior tickets, we would expect you to forward the tickets onto the parents.
Okay, thank you. Steve, a question again, which has appeared on the chat in a couple of instances. How does the club make an administrative profit on tickets?
As per the ticketing terms and conditions, clubs, constituent bodies, referee societies may charge an administrative fee of up to £10, including VAT per match ticket if they wish. No other transfer made or charge of any respect of the sale of the ticket can be charged in addition to that. But the RFU, however, won't be responsible for the processing of those fees, and that remains the discretion of the club. So.
Okay. Lisa, can we share with one person who can then allocate to their party who are attending?
Yes, you can. You can forward, if you've got a family of 4 coming, for example, and they're all adults, then you can send it to one member, and that member can forward on to the other 3 in his party.
Okay. Steve, interesting question, this one. Sort of a technical one, really. Many clubs who are registered for VAT and have partial exemption, so the members paying for them could impact on exempt input tax recovered, costing the rugby club a lot of money. What's our comment on that?
Clubs can still choose to purchase the tickets themselves, as per the video. You'd then be required to distribute those tickets via the Twickenham Stadium app, which would alleviate that. But obviously VAT is a hugely complex area, which clubs are best taking individual advice on. And the RFU has a VAT helpline, which is possibly worth a call if anyone's got any specific VAT questions, and we can send out contact details individually should clubs wish. So,
excellent, thank you. Lisa, how are our members' data in this day and age kept secure and protected?
In simple, Ticketmaster have a single database for all RFU customers, which is encrypted and hosted in secure data centres. It's only accessible by team members to maintain it. They act on behalf of the RFU as data processor, so all GDPR compliance is followed based on the RFU's T's and C's, and a contract that's between Ticketmaster and the RFU.
Okay, brilliant stuff. I've got some quick fire ones, Steve. I'll fire these. You've got 4 of these ones. So first of all, do the clubs get involved in allocation of tickets to their members?
yes, absolutely. Clubs continue to be responsible for how their tickets are allocated. Absolutely.
Okay. Can tickets be recalled if you accidentally send it to the wrong person?
Yes. Yep, we all make mistakes, and pleased to say that if a club does make a particular mistake with an allocation, if they contact the customer service team within the ticket office, we'll help rectify that for them.
Okay. Can tickets be distributed via the ticketing website instead? Easier to use a computer than a small phone screen for X number of tickets being distributed?
Yeah, definitely. So if a club takes advantage of the new functionality shown in the video, we think that will be a far simpler process than distributing large number of tickets via the app.
Okay, great. And then the final one for you, will the direct debit facility still be available to purchase tickets, or will the payments be made by individual members?
That's the club's choice. A club still can continue to purchase their tickets using the direct debit method of payment. However, if they do that, again, those tickets will be distributed via the Twickenham Stadium app, so they might find it advantageous to distribute those individually, but that remains the club's choice.
Okay, great stuff. And then Lisa, I've got 4 quick ones for you. How many tickets can each member purchase?
As many as the club allocate to them. So if the club wants to allocate one member 4 tickets, they can.
Okay, cool. And how can we find the ticket prices for the Six Nations in 2022?
They are on the ticketing help web pages on the website. They've also been sent out on an email to all clubs today.
Okay, brilliant. Can members be added to the new system from GMS?
They can. You'll need to download them from GMS using the CSV spreadsheet and then upload them into XR, into the ticket office website.
Okay, and then the final question I've got here is, will schools also be able to access the ticketing using this format?
Schools do have access to digital ticketing, but the way schools' tickets are allocated is entirely different to the clubs. So this process will not work for them at the moment.
Okay, thank you. So hopefully there's a number of questions there. Having said that, I can see that the Q&A function is full of questions at the moment. So before we move further, basically we're going to have another poll. So Alex, if I can come to you, please, and then we can pick up another poll.
Yeah, we're just going to do a video first, Martin, and then I'll do the poll, mate, if that's okay.
Lovely, thank you.
So just a final video for you, which will answer some of the questions being posed.
Thanks. Once you have reserved your club's tickets, you'll then have a maximum of 20 days to either distribute to your members or complete the purchase. Any tickets not distributed or purchased within this period will be released and put back into the general club pot. Should this occur, your allocations would be reset to the appropriate amount, and you would need to rebook any release tickets which would be available until the entitlement window closes. Please be aware that any tickets purchased by a club that have not been distributed directly to your members will need to be distributed by that club's international ticket contact directly from the Twickenham Stadium app. These tickets must be forwarded directly to your member's mobile number for download as far in advance of the actual event as possible. Each member that you allocate a ticket to will then receive an email sent to the address provided, inviting them to purchase their reserved tickets, as instructed in their email. From this point, the recipients will have 48 hours to purchase their ticket. Please note that you'll be able to allocate to your members as many tickets as you wish. The number that you allocate will be the maximum number that member can then purchase. Should they fail to complete a purchase within 48 hours, you'll be notified of this and your allocation reset to the appropriate amount. Your ticket entitlement will remain available until the end of the entitlement window. Ticket exchange. Should a member who has purchased tickets at the entitlement rate that were originally distributed from a club's allocation choose to post these seats on the ticket exchange, once resold, the club member will only receive the face value paid and the club will receive any profit due if the ticket is resold at the standard rate. This payment will then be held in that club's account cashback, which can be accessed via account management and either withdrawn or used for future purposes. We thank you for your cooperation and hope you found this video informative.
Okay, thanks, Alex. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself there. So hopefully that's helped answer more questions. We still have plenty coming through in the Q&A, and we'll try and get to them, and we've got plenty of time to try and cover off as many as we can. Before we do that, though, Alex, I believe we're going to have another quick poll.
Yeah, we're going to get you engaged again. Another poll here. So how do you think your members are feeling about a return to matches at Twickenham with full crowds? Let us know. Are they generally excited, or is there a bit of nervousness, apprehension? Well, you got some that sound now we're unwilling to go to return due to the COVID concerns that are out there. So I can see people are responding thick and fast. Now, as I say, if you are on a tablet, sometimes it goes behind the last one, so you might have gone behind that screen to flick onto. So I'll just give the last a few seconds. We've just got a few more to respond, and I will close that poll now. And looking at the results, 68%, are really excited. But we do have some nervous and apprehensive people out there as well, just to be aware of. So we'll take it from there. Over to you, Martin.
Thank you. And yeah, like many on there, I am very excited to sort of see live sport again. It's something we've all, I think, missed. So we're now going to try and attempt to answer some of the Q&As. I can see there are 87 on there. So bear with us while we try and work through. Can I just say, though, if we don't get to your question, we will try and answer it as best as we can through the FAQ document that will sit on the ticketing website, and you'll be able to see answers there. Clearly, if we spent a minute for everyone, then we need to be on for at least an hour and a half, because it's now up to 90. So please bear with us. And as I say, if we don't get to your question, then we'll do our very best to answer it. I think some of the questions do cross over. So what I'll try and do with this is, Steve and Lisa, I'll just sort of throw it across and we'll try and go backwards and forth. Let me just think of this first one. Okay. Will we continue to automatically receive a VAT receipt for ticket purchases made by the club? This wasn't the case for the summer series, which were also digital. So, Steve, don't know if you want to pick that one up.
Yeah, I'm aware we've always issued VAT receipts, and we'll continue to issue those going forward as well.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I think that's been answered. Let's just have a look at this one. There's a lengthy one here. Interesting one. This is from Richard. We ballot our members for tickets. Only those who are up to date with membership may receive tickets. If we transfer them to pending members, remembering the application period is ahead of membership fees. Basically, what they're saying is they don't want to sort of go outside of members. So they need that ability to be able to sort of allocate and distribute right up to the last minute. So Lisa, in terms of timings for clubs and how they can sort of try and handle that sort of right up to the wire, what's the best advice for that?
The allocation entitlement window stays open the entire time, so that will not shut. Clubs are notified in advance of what that window is. You can purchase tickets, you can reserve tickets, from the time it opens on the Wednesday, the 6th of October. You can put your tickets in your basket. They will remain there for clubs initially for 20 days. You've got 20 days from the day they go in your basket on the first day of opening to reserve them out to your members. So if you can do your ballot within those first 20 days, that's great. You can send them out. If you can't, then you've still got the option to buy the tickets yourself as the club using your direct debit, as you've always done. You can assign them to your basket. But you can go in at any point during this window to purchase the tickets. It doesn't have to be on the first day, but the longer you leave it, the less time that you have to hold those tickets in your basket. So for the first week, we'll give you 20 days. The second week, you have 15. The third week, you have 10, for example. And the reason for those dates coming down is obviously we need to have the entire entitlement window finished by the closing date.
Okay.
I hope that makes it clear, but we'll make a better explanation if it doesn't.
Okay, there's a couple of questions in and around GMS. Steve, if I come to you on this one, do the members added to the ticket website need to be a member within GMS?
No, they don't.
Okay, thank you for that. An interesting one here. How do we reserve international away game tickets? Lisa, do you want to pick that one up? I
will pick that one up, and we put that in an email to clubs today. At the moment, we are still waiting on news from the visiting unions on the other unions of what their policy is going to be. So the email that went out today basically said to all the clubs that there is a window opening, and that's the only information we can give you at the moment, because we're still waiting for information from France, Italy and Scotland on what they want to do. We're hoping we'll have that information within the next 10 days and get a further email out to clubs and tell you what that policy is going to be. Okay, lovely. Again, I'm trying to pick up a couple of questions which I'm sort of seeing repeating, but Steve, can you reserve all the seats and assign them later? Or is it the only alternative to signing immediately, pay for them all up front?
No, as the video explained, you can either purchase the tickets in bulk and then distribute those via the app, at a time frame that suits you, or you can distribute those tickets individually to your guests, but within the 20 days.
Okay, Lisa, going back a little bit on that payment and things. A question here is: what happens when the reservation time expires and the member's not paid on time? If your member doesn't pay within the 48-hour window,
you as the ticket secretary would get an email telling you that your member hasn't purchased those tickets. Those tickets then get released back onto the website, back on for the club pool, if you like. But you as the ticket secretary can then go back onto the website and pick up some more tickets to get yourself back up to your quota.
Okay, great. A ticket for all of the guys on the call, really. Can a club have more than one ticket secretary? I think I know where that's coming from in terms of admin.
No, unfortunately not. It's one email for one club, so you can't have more than one ticket secretary, unfortunately, no.
Okay. Steve, a question here. Can we print tickets ourselves?
No, you can't.
Okay, lovely, thank you. There's a question, and I don't know if this is a possibility. I'm thinking from our ticket master experts, it would be great to be able to filter by ticket category, seating, tier, stand. Is that something that is possible or not?
Yeah, so that's actually something that we have been looking at. So we're hoping to get something out before the end of the year to allow you to be able to filter by category.
Fantastic. Fantastic. A question which has come, I'll repeat it, but it has been said a couple of times. What happens if the international ticket coordinator doesn't have a smartphone?
That's a good question. If your international ticket contact doesn't have a smartphone, then could you perhaps use the mobile phone number of another official within your club? So the international ticket secretary can still be the email person and purchase all your tickets, but you could use another person within the club's mobile number, another official within the club's mobile number on your account, and the tickets could go to them. Okay.
Steve, we've mentioned the app several times. Someone's asked it, actually, if we could just explain a little bit more about actually the app. I don't know if that's a quick thing we can cover.
Yeah, it depends on how much detail. So the app is provided to us by a company called TickServe. So it is separate to Ticketmaster. We've used this company for a couple of seasons now with some great success, through the summer series, for example, when we were at 10,000, having this digital ticketing and the ability to fulfill track and trace, etc., was actually part of the decision making that allowed us to have fans return to the stadium, which is fantastic. So it's provided to us by a company called TickServe. It's not a Ticketmaster product, but we've worked with this company for a number of seasons now and had some good success, and it's a product we're looking to develop further. Hopefully that answers the question.
Okay. A question, Lisa. What happens if at the venue the ticket holder can't access their tickets on their phone for some reason?
If there's any issue, the ticket officers open on event day and they pop along to the ticket office and somebody will help them out.
Brilliant stuff. Steve, I think interesting question here. Is there a hard copy available of how to use the system? I don't know if that's something that we have in, and obviously got the videos, but is there a hard copy?
Yeah, we do have a printable copy of like a user guide which is available to all clubs. Absolutely.
Interesting question here, Lisa. What about disabled tickets? Currently, these have to be ordered directly from the RFU ticket team.
They do. We have started to work with Ticketmaster to get a better system so that the accessible tickets are available online. Currently, though, club ticket secretaries, if they get requests for accessible clients, they can contact us in the usual way and we will reserve those tickets for them to enable their members to access them.
Okay, thank you. Somebody's asked a question, fair question. If a member forwards a ticket onto an incorrect number, what happens then? Steve, do you want to pick that one up, or Lisa?
Do you want me to go, Lisa?
Yeah, I don't mind. Go on.
Yeah, so if they forward it on to, it's a question if they forward it on incorrectly or if they forward it on to an incorrect mobile telephone number. Yeah. Obviously, if they forward it on to a mobile telephone number, the chances are that just won't work. So, the ticket wouldn't be received. If they sent it to a number which does exist but to the wrong person, then we would be able to rectify that if they notify us.
Okay, thank you. can the tickets be forwarded by email from a PC, Lisa, or does it all have to be done on a smartphone?
No, it has to be done via the app, which is on the smartphone.
Thank you. Steve, there's a question here about in the exceptional circumstances where potentially sending a ticket to a name and address. The question is, can you explain what gets sent? Is it just a PDF or a print of PDF with a barcode?
No, it's not. It's not a print at home ticket. It's an invitation to download the app. They then need to download the app where their ticket would be contained.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I think that question was about somebody asking about an accessible ticket and what gets sent to an accessible client, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it was, Lisa.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, sorry, Steve. No, I just think that was that question. I think so. What the ticket secretary would need to do is obviously contact us via the help pages on the ticketing website, request a ticket with the details. We'll send them a link to fill in so that they can tell us what ticket that they've allocated to their member. They'll need to tell us the member's address, and we will then post a hard ticket to that person. It won't be a print at home ticket or anything. It will be a hard version of a ticket.
Okay, thank you. Steve, and obviously for the guys at Ticketmaster, are you confident the digital system will work from a technology perspective for a full house, given the limited testing there's been?
So based on the testing that Ticketmaster have done, so we've done full testing of the software itself. We also run regular performance tests on the system as well. And I know that some of the clubs have been invited to use the functionality to kind of test it out. So anything that's kind of come from that, we have, looked into and made improvements where needed.
And also to add to that, this isn't something that we've just jumped into blindly. We have used mobile tickets for a number of seasons now and increased the numbers gradually, to get to a point that we're comfortable with the technology and what we're using. So we are confident.
Okay. I'm going to ask just Alex if there's anything that's popped up and you can sort of see anything that's popped up there, and then also Jenny, Andy from Ticketmaster, is anything that you've seen that you think, oh, I'd like to answer that one? So Alex, is anything that's jumped out at you that you want to pick up?
Just have a quick look. Can you hold 2 or more tickets on one mobile device?
Yes, you can. We would prefer that that didn't happen, because that will slow access at the stadium. And ideally, every person entering the stadium should have their own phone on their own ticket on their own mobile device. There will be exceptions to that with children or people that just don't have a mobile device. So we would recommend that no more than 2 are held on a device, but would prefer that every person has their own.
Okay. Jenny, Andy, is there anything that you've seen from a sort of a technical element that you've seen in those in the Q&As that you'd like to pick up on?
So I think for me, there was a couple around the kind of area scrolling, which I'll take away and have a look at. But other than that, I don't think there was anything technical. I am still scrolling through.
Okay.
There's a lot there. Martin, there's another one here just to clarify around, when a member doesn't purchase the tickets within the deadline, does the club lose them? Just to clarify that one again, please.
Sorry, can you say the question again, please?
So what happens if a member does not purchase tickets within the deadline? Does the club lose them?
The tickets that aren't purchased go back into the general club pot. The club is notified and their allocation reset to the appropriate amount, and then they can then go back into the system and buy that number of tickets again.
Thank you.
There's a question here from Sarah. Lisa, I don't know if you can pick this one up. This is just to confirm, I selected paper tickets for the Autumn International. Will these be honoured?
For the Autumn Internationals, yes. If you requested paper tickets for the Autumn Internationals, this is part of our drive to up the number of digital tickets so that we can make sure we're reassessing all of the time. So for the Autumn Internationals, this system that we've now got in place for the Six Nations wasn't available then. So rather than going straight into everybody having to do it via the app, we went with hard tickets. So if you've got hard tickets ordered for the autumns, those will be leaving the office. I believe for clubs, actually, the hard tickets are leaving on Friday. Digital tickets for the autumns will be leaving next week, just so those of you on will know. But because of the way that we've now brought this system forward, we are only using digital for Six Nations onwards.
Thank you. There's a request here or a question here. Please, is it possible to give more details of the need to re-upload members? The question is that there's no linkage between GMS members and ticketing members. I don't know if who wants to have a go at that one.
I think what they're saying is GMS. I'm not an expert on GMS. I'm just going to put that out there so you all know. I'm no expert on GMS. But from what I understand it, members for the club members are held on GMS. I think that you can download your members from GMS using a CSV file. It's that CSV file that you can download onto your computers that you can then use the same CSV file to upload onto the ticketing website. As long as you're using a CSV file and it's got the same forename, surname, email heading, then that email will work, that upload on a CSV will work into the Ticketmaster system.
Okay, thank you. There's a question here, Steve. Can the member give tickets back to the club or only post on the ticket exchange?
If a ticket wasn't required, then they can just not purchase within that time frame. Once the ticket's purchased, however, they can't give it back as such, but the ticket can be listed on the ticket exchange and then the club could make a new purchase.
Okay. I'm just scrolling through and trying to see, we've got lots of similar questions and I'm just trying to sort of pick out any new ones that we've not had yet. Okay. Bear with me while I just have a look through. What controls does a club have in order to stop a member transferring tickets to, for example, a ticket tout? Interesting one, guys. So from a safety perspective of obviously trying to stop ticket touts, grab them, is there anything we can do on that, or is there anything within that, Lisa?
Certainly. Oh, sorry, Lisa, do you want that?
I'm fine, you carry on.
Cool. Obviously, a ticket can be forwarded multiple times, and it's the person that you're then forwarding the ticket to originally's, responsibility to make sure that they're using that ticket in the appropriate way and not to any advantage. And that would be exactly the same as if we were issuing a paper ticket. So the risk is no greater because it's digital tickets, and in fact, being able to see the complete journey, we would know where that ticket ended up. So if anything, it's certainly more secure, but it's always the person that you've sent the tickets to's responsibility to make sure that that's used in the appropriate way.
Okay, thank you. I'm conscious we're now sort of just approaching the 45-minute mark, and therefore there were a number of people who only thought it was going to be 45 minutes. If you wish to stay on, we'll carry on going through and trying to pick up any different questions that we've not had. So please do stay on if you want to. We'll carry on for maybe another 15 minutes. But as I said earlier, please be reassured what we'll do is we'll take these questions away, we'll turn them into the FAQs, which you can find on the ticketing website. So we'll carry on, and we're up to 132 questions, so there's still a few to go through. But if you do have to jump off at this point, I hope that's been helpful for you. We realize it's a new process, and hopefully everything that's been provided so far will help get that new change brought about. Sorry.
Martin, I've got one here.
Yes.
Do you have any promotional material that will help me explain to members how this will work?
Yeah, well, we can provide, if it's relating to the TickServe app and the process for their members, yeah, we can provide clubs with a user guide for them to distribute. Absolutely no problem.
Okay. This is a question again to either of you, really. So the use of the app means, excuse me, a no longer requirement to keep details for track and trace.
Yes, if you have forwarded the ticket on to your members, if you've used the system to allocate the tickets out to your members, then those details are already stored and we will have them for track and trace purposes.
Okay. A couple of people have said they don't appear to have received the email today. I'm wondering whether the registration details for the international ticket sector have changed. So there's a couple of people who've said they've not had them. Is that something that we may be aware of, guys?
There's always a few people that don't seem to have them because we use it's a uniform system that we send out. It's the same email chain that every email goes out from the RFU. So if you inadvertently unsubscribe, you won't have got it for that reason. We send to the ticket secretaries that are held on the ticketing system on XR, and also the ticketing secretaries that are held on GMS, because we realise that sometimes they don't get changed on XR or they don't get changed on GMS. The two systems do not talk to each other. And so if you change it on one, you need to change it on the other. So it should have gone to one or the other. If you've not had the email and you'd like a copy of it, just drop us an email onto the ticketing website on the ticketing help section and we'll get one over to you, not a problem.
Okay, good. We've got a number of people asking the same question. Is it possible to email a hard copy, sorry, not email, electronic copy of the ticketing guide to the ticketing secretaries?
It's on there's been a link. There's an email that's already been sent some time ago with a link to that. But the ticketing guide is held on the ticketing help section of the website. So navigate to where your ticketing is, click down on information, ticketing help. And in that ticketing help section is the guide, and you can download that guide and print it from there.
Okay. Okay, I'm just scrolling through. Okay. Some people like to have a physical ticket as a keepsake of their trip. Are there any options for people to purchase a souvenir ticket?
No, I'm afraid not. No, there isn't.
Okay. Okay. There's a question here. I'm not sure if this has been answered. Forgive me if it has, but can the app be adapted for use on a tablet? Thinking about ease of use rather than just a smartphone.
I'd need to check on that, Martin, to be honest with you. We're suggesting that it goes to a mobile phone. In terms of a tablet, obviously a tablet can take an app. If that tablet's got a SIM card and a mobile number on it, then possibly. But if you don't mind, I'll just check that.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
There's a question here that I've seen from Paul, who's asking what method of payment their members can use to pay for their tickets. Yes, it is only credit or debit card for your members. The club still can use direct debit, but your members can only use card, credit or debit cards to pay for their tickets.
Okay. Steve, I don't know if you want to pick this one up. Can you please confirm the only way to charge an admin fee is if the club makes a direct debit payment rather than a signing via the website?
We touched on the admin fee earlier, and the admin fees at the discretion of the club, and how that's processed is a decision for them. So I'm not really in a position to answer how an individual club processes their admin fee. Martin?
Thank you.
There's another question here from Ray, who's asking if someone's ill on a match day, how do they sell their ticket? Just like we've done in the past for these grade A matches, if somebody is ill on an event day, you can contact the ticket office and the ticket can be posted on the ticket exchange for resale, but we will always take the ticket back on an event day and try and resell it.
This is potentially a technical one. I think we can answer this one. Is there suitable signal, i.e. 4G, 5G at Twickenham for all mobile providers in order to show the tickets?
The good thing about the TickServe app, and one of the reasons that we chose it, is that it doesn't require connectivity. We do suggest that tickets are downloaded in advance, and we've got a very thorough process now of checking the download rates building up to an event to make sure that sufficient numbers of supporters have downloaded their ticket and have it sat within their app. Once it is, then connectivity isn't required. So.
Another question here regarding the app. Is there a video to demonstrate the use of the app?
We have got one, Martin, yeah.
Yeah.
That should be available on the sections, the ticket help section that Lisa mentioned earlier. But yes, there is a video available and has been for a while.
Fantastic.
I've got a couple of questions here. One from Andy. How do we get the app? You navigate to the App Store or the Google Play Store and you download, it's the Twickenham Stadium app, and you download that from there. And there's another one here about, will there be a need for COVID passport on the day? Currently, there, again, on the ticketing web pages, on the help pages, there is all the information about COVID and what's going to be required there. We don't know obviously what's going to happen for the Six Nations, nobody does, but for the autumn internationals at the moment, if you look at those pages, we've sent that out again on the email to clubs today, but it's saying either a double vaccination or a 48 hours test or proof of natural immunity on there. So you will need something.
Sorry, go on, Steve.
No, I was going to say, just looking through questions, Martin, there's one, when assigning members, does a search function only return people from your own club? And the answer to that obviously is yes, it would only be a member that you've inputted, not someone else's.
Well, that was a good question.
Yeah. I've got an interesting one from Lisa here. I've downloaded the app and signed up. Was I supposed to sign up using the club details that are used to log on to the e-ticketing system?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because that's how the tickets will get sent. It's using the same mobile number and details that are on the XR system as is on the app.
Great. Okay. If you see any guys, I'm scrolling through trying to pick out unusual ones.
I'm looking also, Martin, and there's a number around people who don't have access to smartphones and the age of people. A comment there is this system ageist, and I think it's anything but. I think it would have been wrong of us to assume that if someone's a certain age, they're incapable of using this technology. In our experience, they're some of our most efficient customers. So, we're certainly not looking to leave anyone behind in this process, and hopefully we've made clear how, should someone have a genuine need for a physical ticket, they can obtain that.
I've got two here that I'd like to pick up on. One is, are there any junior tickets available for the Six Nation matches? No, there's not. Usually the only Six Nation match where we do make junior tickets available anyway is Italy. So with us being at home to Ireland and Wales, no, there isn't. And then there's another question from Andrew who says, who sets up each member on the system? The club ticket secretaries have already all been set up as admins, so you should all be able to go on already and upload your members. And as regard to if you're talking about a club, then it is up to the ticket contact to upload your own members or to individually put your own members in. If your member is already on the XR system, it will recognise that from the email that they've got, so they'll already be there. And if they're not, then you can just simply add them yourself.
Okay. Will the club have access to see where tickets have ended up for a member if they've fallen? So once they've had them, are they able to see a trail of where that ticket finished?
No, we can. We will be able to see that. So if you've got any concerns after and you'd like to know what happened to a particular ticket, if that's a concern of yours, then we would be able to look and see what happened to that ticket and to confirm whether your member used it or not.
Okay. Sort of a last minute type scenario here. If someone's ill or has a problem on match day, how are they able to sort of sell or pass their ticket on?
Yeah, I think I answered that one earlier, but that is by contacting the ticket office. Basically, you can either call us on an event day or send us an email. We man both the phone and the email on an event day, so just contact us, let us know, and we can pull the ticket back and put it up for sale.
I'm still going to keep going. We've got 5 minutes left, guys, so we'll try and get through as many as we can. As I say, I think a number have sort of been repeated, and as I'm scrolling through, I can see that we've answered quite a few. So again, if any of the panelists can see anything that they want to pick up, then please do.
Okay, so if you buy all your tickets and pay for them by direct debit, can you later assign them to your members? No, you can't. Once you've paid for them by direct debit, the club has bought them. So the tickets would then be delivered to your app as the ticket secretary, and you would need to forward them all on via the app. So once you've committed to paying for them by direct debit as a club, that's that. You can't forward them on after that, not via the ticketing system anyway.
I've just seen one here from Shelley. It's quite a unique position, this. She's a ticket secretary for a CB and the club. Therefore, she has 2 emails.
Yep, exactly. She has 2 emails because you can't access one club on one email. So we've got several ticket secretaries who do the same. They do a CB and they do a club, or some do 2 clubs. So yes, you will need to have the 2 emails.
Just one here, Martin, around why is the purchase period so short, the 48 hours? We think 48 hours is a reasonable length of time, given that you would have known that that person wanted to attend that event prior to forwarding on. So 2 days we feel is sufficient. And obviously, if that person doesn't want to know, the club we would think would want to know as soon as possible. So that's why that's 48 hours.
Okay. I'm just scrolling down to the last few questions, really.
Right, so there's a question here from Dave who's saying that I mentioned signing into the app with the same details as on XR. How do I know I've done this correctly and will not have problems when buying tickets on Wednesday? Signing into the app won't affect your purchase on Wednesday. They're the 2 different things. So when you sign into the ticketing system on Wednesday, you can practice now. You've got access to the ticketing website now. You've got access to go to your account using the little head and shoulders icon at the top, look at the group management functionality. You'll be able to assign your members now if you want to do that. You can test that you've got the required admin field. The app comes into play if you decide as a club to purchase all the tickets yourself, because they then will be delivered to you. Or even if you just buying a couple of tickets for yourself as a ticket secretary, they would come out to you. So the app comes into play later once the tickets get distributed to you.
Well, as we're approaching 8 o'clock now, I think we've tried to answer a significant number. Hopefully we've covered off most of the things there. As I said a number of times, a couple of people who've joined late have asked what's going to happen if they've asked a question or they've missed things. We will put all of these questions and the answers into the FAQs, so you'll be able to see that on the ticketing website. We'll also host the video, so you'll be able to see the video of the webinar, so you can go back and sort of watch that in your own time. And certainly if you're sharing that information with ticketing people from your own club and you're not in that role normally. So we'll try and cover off as many as we can. There is obviously the sort of the function on the ticketing website to sort of raise an inquiry as well, so you can use that. So please, I'd urge people to sort of see the FAQs first, try and read through them, work out if they can answer that question, and if not, there are facilities to ask further questions. Steve and Lisa, is there anything you want to sort of just finish off with, just to sort of wrap up?
Well, just to thank everyone for their time and patience and cooperation, and I hope they found the session really useful. We've had some great feedback, and yeah, thank you to everyone.
Yeah, likewise, I just wanted to thank those clubs that have been our test pilots for us over the last week or so and given us some great valuable feedback to enable us to make some changes which will help with the on sale next Wednesday. And just remember that the customer service team are there to help. Yes, the phones are busy. We know they're busy. Drop us an email on the help portal. We will come back to you. We do reply to those emails quite quickly. So don't despair. We're going to be there to help you out.
Well, on behalf of Alex and all the experts and all the guys behind the scenes, thank you very much, everybody. I hope that's been helpful, and we look forward to welcoming you all back to Twickenham in the not too distant future. Good night, everybody.